The Message, the book of Matthew chapter 13, a harvest story. At about the same time, Jesus left the house and sat on the beach. In no time at all, a crowd gathered along the shoreline, forcing him to get into a boat. Using the boat as a pulpit, he addressed his congregation, telling stories. "What do you make of this? A farmer planted seed. As he scattered the seed, some of it fell on the road, and birds ate it. Some fell in the gravel. It sprouted quickly but didn't put down roots. So when the sun came up, it withered just quickly. Some fell in the weeds. As it came up, it was strangled by the weeds. Some fell on the good earth and produced a harvest beyond wildest dreams." Are you listening to this? Really listening? Why tell stories? The disciple came up and asked, "Why do you tell stories?" He replied, "You've been given insight into God's kingdom. You know how it works. Not everybody has this gift, these insights. It hasn't been given to them. Whenever someone has a ready heart for this, the insights and understanding flow freely. But if there is no readiness, any trace of receptivity soon disappeared. That's why I tell stories, to create readiness, to nudge the people towards receptive insight. In their present state, they can stare till doomsday and not see it. Listen till they're blue in the face and not get it. I don't want Isaiah's forecast repeated all over again. Your ears are open but you don't hear a thing. Your eyes are awake but you don't see a thing. The people are blockheads. They stick their fingers on their ears so they won't have to listen. They screw their eyes shut so they won't have to look, so they won't have to deal with the face-to-face and let me heal them. But you have godless eyes, eyes that see, and godless ears, ears that hear. A lot of people, prophets, and humble believers among them would have given anything to see what you are saying, to hear what you are hearing, but never had a chance. The meaning of the harvest story. Study this story of the farmer planting seed. When anyone hears news of the kingdom and doesn't take it in, it just remains on the surface, and so the evil one comes along and plucks it right out of that person's heart. This is the seed the farmer scattered on the road. The seed cast in the gravel. This is the person who hears and instantly responds with enthusiasm. But there is no soil of character, and so when the emotion wears off and some difficulty arrives, there is nothing to show for it. The seed cast in the weeds is the person who hears the kingdom's news, but weeds of worry and illusions about getting more and wanting everything under the sun strangle what was heard, and nothing comes of it. The seeds cast on good earth is the person who hears and takes in the news, and then produces a harvest beyond his wildest dreams. He told another story. God's kingdom is like a farmer who planted good seed in his field. That night, while his hired men were sleeping, his enemies sowed These tools all through the wet and slip away before dawn. When the first green shoots appeared and the grain began to form, the thistles showed up too. The farmer's hand came to the farmer and said, "Master, that was clean seed you planted, wasn't it? Where did these thistles come from?" He answered, "Since some enemy did this," the farmer's hand asked, "should we weed out the thistles?" He said, "No. If you weed the thistles, you'll pull up the wheat too. Let them grow together until harvest time. Then I'll instruct the harvester to pull up the thistles and tie them in bundles for the fire. Then gather the wheat and put it in the barn." Another story, God's kingdom is like a pine nut that a farmer plants. It is quite small as seeds go, but in the course of years it grows into a huge pine tree, and eagles build nests in it. Another story, God's kingdom is like yeast that a woman works into the dough for dozens of loaves of barley bread and waits while the dough rises. All Jesus did that day was to tell stories. A long, short telling afternoon, his storytelling fulfilled the prophecy. "I will open my mouth and tell stories. I will bring out into the open thing hidden since the world's first day." The curtain of history. Jesus dismissed the congregation and went into the house. His disciples came in and said, "Explain to us that story of the thistles in the field." So he explained, "The farmer who sows the pure seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, and pure seeds are subjects of the kingdom. The thistles are subjects of the devil, and the enemy who sows them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age. The curtain of history, the harvest hands are angels." The pictures of thistle pull up and burn is a scene from the final act. The Son of Man will send his angels without the thistles from his kingdom, pitch them in the trash, and be done with them. They are going to complain to high heaven, but nobody is going to listen. At the same time, ripe, holy lives will mature and adorn the kingdom of their Father. Are you listening to this? Really listening? God's kingdom is like a treasure hidden in a field for years and then accidentally found by a trespasser. The finder is ecstatic. "What's a find?" and proceed to sell everything he owns to raise money and buy that field. All God's kingdom is like a jewel merchant on the hunt for excellent pearls. Finding one that is flawless, he immediately sells everything and buys it. Our God's kingdom is like a fish net cast into the sea, catching all kinds of fish. When it is full, it is hauled onto the beach. The good fish are picked out and put in a tub. Those unfit to eat are thrown away. That's how it will be when the curtain comes down on his story. The angels will come and call the bad fish and throw them in the garbage. There will be a lot of desperate complaining, but it won't do any good. Jesus asked, "Are you starting to get a handle on all this?" They answered, "Yes." He said, Then you see how every student will train in God's kingdom is like the owner of a general store who can put his hands on everything, anything you need, old or new, exactly when you need it. When Jesus finished telling these stories, he left there, returned to his hometown, and gave a lecture in the meeting house. He made a real hit, impressing everyone. He had no idea he was this good, they said. How did he get so wise, get such ability? But in the next breath, they were cutting him down. We've known him since he was a kid. He's the carpenter's son. We know his mother Mary. We know his brothers James and Joseph, Simon and Judas. All his sisters live here. Who does he think he is? They got their nose all out of joint. But Jesus said, a prophet is taken for granted in his hometown and his family. He didn't do any miracles there because of their hostile indifference.